Hello friends, today we are going to discuss about the research methodology. What is research? Difference between research methodology and methods. Types of research, many steps in research, variables and its types, hypothesis and its type, research design in its type, sample in its type, sources of data, difference between primary and secondary data, data collection tools and techniques, data analysis and data interpretation, processing of data, and test of hypothesis in type 1, type 2 errors. So research methodology is the specific procedure or technique used to identify, select, and process or analyze the information about a particular topic. So it is a systematic process devised to assess any information. According to John F. Criswell, who states that research is a process of step used to collect, analyze information to increase our understanding of a topic or issue. It consists of three steps: pose a question, collect data to answer the questions, and present an answer to the questions through your research. So what is the difference between research methods and methodology? Research methods are the various ways and means of conducting a research that involves conduct of experiments, tests, surveys, and likes, and aims at finding solutions to research problems. Whereas research methodology is the science of systematically solving the research problem, the learning of the various techniques we can use to conduct the research. So type of research, there are different type of research. On the basis of objectives, there can be fundamental research, applied research, or action research. On the basis of nature of the data, there can be quantitative or qualitative research. On the basis of nature of findings, we can say there will be explanatory research, exploratory research, or descriptive research. On the basis of experimental manipulation, it can be experimental research or non-experimental research. On the basis of approach involved, it can be longitudinal research or it can be cross-sectional research. The main steps of conducting research. There are 7 steps of research process. First step is define the research problem. Then second stage is the review of the literature related to the particular topic. Then formulate hypothesis based on the research gap, and then prepare the research design to conduct further study. Collect the data and do the data analysis, and then interpret and present the data in a format that can be understood by the researchers. Variables and its type. The first variable is called the independent variable. This is the part of the experiment that can be changed and tested. The independent variables happen first and can be considered the cause of any changes in the outcome. The outcome is called dependent variable. The independent variables in our previous example is not studying for a test. The dependent variable that you are using is measure the outcome is the test score or exam results. Hypothesis is a specific testable prediction. It describes in concrete terms what we expect and what will happen in certain circumstances. The null hypothesis, symbolized by H naught, is a statistical hypothesis that states that there is no difference between a parameter and a specific value, or there is no difference between two parameters. The alternative hypothesis, symbolized by H1, is a statistical hypothesis that states the existence of difference between a parameter and a specific value, or states that there is a difference between two parameters. So what is research design? Research design refers to the overall strategy that you choose to integrate the different components of the study in a coherent and logical way, thereby ensuring you will effectively address the research problem, its constituent for collection, measurement, and analysis of the data. The different type of research designs: explanatory, descriptive, diagnostic, and experimental. A sample refers to a smaller, measurable version of the larger group. It is a subset containing the characteristics of the larger population. So the sample should represent the character of the whole of the population. Type of sampling. There are different type of samplings: random or probability sampling, non-random probability sampling, or mixed sampling. Random sampling can be further classified as simple or stratified or cluster, whereas cluster sampling can be further classified as single, double stage, or multi-stage. Whereas stratified sampling can also be further categorized as proportionate stratified and disproportionate stratified. Non-probability sampling like quota, accidental, or snowball or judgmental are different types. Mixed sampling is systematic sampling where we use both combination of random sampling as well as stratified sampling. Sources of data. There are different sources of data. There are basically two sources: primary sources of data and secondary sources of data. Primary sources of data where we can get the data directly from the source, like when we study something, then the case study we do, physical study we do, then it is the primary sources. We are directly collecting the data from the source. Questionnaire survey, photograph collection, transactional survey. Secondary sources of data are the already published books, journals, reports, newspapers, articles, documentary, etc., which are already done by some other person. We are not directly going to collect that. We are indirectly referring to their sources. Difference between primary and secondary data. Primary data is the real-time data, sure about the source of the data. It helps give result or finding. It can be sometimes costly and time consuming. It avoided voiciness of the response data. It is more flexible. We can adjust the data according to our need. We can collect particular type of data for our particular need. Whereas in the secondary data, it is the past data. There can be time lag. Uh, Not sure about the source of the data. Refining of the problem. It is cheap and it is less time consuming. We cannot know in a data biasness is there or not. It is less flexible. We can use only the data which is provided. We cannot go beyond that. If we want to go beyond that, then we have to refer to primary data. Data collection tools and techniques. Tools are questionnaires, interview schedule, observational schedule, scales, test, inventory, checklist, opinion questionnaires, sociogram, sociometric, and techniques are questioning, written, oral, interviewing, face-to-face, telephonic, observational, transactional, projective techniques, panel methods, diary, checklist, logbook, or ethnographic methods. These are some of the techniques. Data analysis. There are different stages of data analysis. First, we have to collect the data, then we have to refine the data, then we have to code the data, then we have to do the data entry in the software, then we have to do the further editing, and then we can analyze the data, and then we only check the errors and verification, then only we can proceed further for the result of the analysis. Processing of the data is very crucial in the research. So first is field editing, where we have to selectively select the data that we are wish to collecting, and then central editing, which is done when we have compiled the data and then we are refining it. Then it's come coding and classification, tabulation and graphing, or representing through the different type of graphs, charts,